That's the adab of writing. But if you write while you're still trying to get it, you may not get it. You understand? Always first, remember, writing is the last part in the highest stage of education. Allama bil qalam. And when we went over the tafsir of that, we explained that writing is a way of learning. You learn through listening, you learn through watching, you learn through communicating. And the greatest part of that is when you can write about it. So listen, watch, articulate, and then write. Does that make sense? There was, I think, Ibrahim al-Nakha'i, this famous sheikh. He was kind of shadid. If he saw someone start writing while he was teaching, he would grab his shoes and run in his home. He wouldn't allow that. Some people are different about it like that. But that's just some of the adab. You have to feel it out. I want you to understand concepts, because we're learning concepts here. You have to understand the concept. And I veer off to these sometimes looking like a sidebar, but I want to teach you a principle in a way that you can use it in many different ways. What you're doing when you come to learn is you're getting tools. We are in ilmu ala. Remember ilmu? How much is ilm? Ilmu al-ilman. There are two types of knowledge. Ilm, ilman. The first ilm is the ala, the knowledge of the utensils, the tools that you need. And then ilmu ghaya. The second ilm is the objective. And the objective of all studying is to understand the Quran. Ma muradullahu ta'ala with the Quran. What did Allah intend with the words in the Quran? That's what we're doing here. It's the only reason we're studying. Right? Okay, so pay attention. The concept here is, I said these are weak letters, right? Then I used the word awa. The first reason why I used a word, a real word, is so that you can have a way to reflect back on that word, on those letters. This word encompasses those three letters that are considered weak letters. The meaning of this word encompasses what these three letters do. I said they retreated back. They sought the protection of. These three letters constantly seek the protection of each other. So when you see one, qala, in a word, when it changes, that's only when it has a fatha. But if it comes with a kasra, it goes to qila. So the alif runs into the ya. And then if it was preceded with a dhamma, it goes to qul, yaqulu. You understand? So they go back into each other. Any word that has one of these letters in it can turn into one of the other ones. That's why awa is a good word to understand, because it encompasses what the three letters are, and the meaning of the word encompasses what they do with each other. Does that make sense? Now you look in a dictionary with this concept, you can test it. Because remember, there are three types of statements, right? What are the three types of statements? Logical, empirical, and legal. Legal statement is what Allah and His Messenger said. A logical statement is a statement the intellect cannot reject, right? And an empirical statement is a statement that you can challenge, that you can prove through science. Challenge this. Find any word in the Arabic language, and you will find that you can use these three letters in its place. Okay? That's the rule. Now, when a word doesn't have one of these three letters in its construction, and it's a feminine word, when you pluralize it, the way you pluralize it is with alif and ta at the end of the word. Is with what? Alif and ta at the end of the word. That's what you need to understand for this part. That a jam'u mu'annath salim, a plural, a feminine word that's pluralized, that's a sound word, meaning it's free from awa, right? Then when you make it plural, you add alif and ta, mazidatani, add it at the end of that word. Does that make sense? Now let me, before you go to your question, let me explain something else. I said this is the word of example, right? Muslim, ma. Okay? And what is this now? What is this? I said muslimatun, right? But did I write a ta? Yes, I did. So now let's go back and understand what this is, because many people don't know what that is. Even though they call it a ta'u marbuta or ta'u marbuta, they don't know what that means. Look, the tas in the Arabic language are two. How many tas?
Two tas.
There is the ta maftuha and the ta marbuta. What does ma in front of a word mean? A place. Okay? Now, rabata means to tie something up. So this ta marbuta, this ta is a place placed over these two dots, over a ta maftuha that has been closed. It's been tied up. Do you understand that? And so this was maftuha. What does maftuha mean?
Open.
Maftuha, meaning it is a place, right, that is a fatha, that is opened, right? So this ta, it's opened, and this ta is closed right here. That's why it's called ta marbuta. Now when it's not, when you stop on this ta, meaning you don't speak past this, the Arabs do not start a word on a sukoon. This is a principle now, and all this has to be taken into consideration when you're talking. You're learning how to articulate in another language. You need to understand the rules. Arabic never starts on a consonant. You understand that? Meaning a letter that doesn't have a vowel over it. It can never start, like when we have in English, we have this word bridge, okay? It starts with one consonant and then another consonant. There's no vowel to the third letter. The third, and anybody that doesn't know the vowels, notice A-E-I-O-U. A-E-I-O-U. Okay? Now, Arabic will never have this construction of two consonants. We call it iltiqa is-sakinain. You never have two sakin, two letters that don't have vowels on top of them next to each other unless you're using an alif wasli. Unless it's an alif, the letter alif that doesn't have anything on it, followed by a lam, followed by a mushadd, which is something else. I don't want to confuse anybody. But right now, know that there are no two letters going to be together with two sakins. So in Arabic, it would say barij. They wouldn't say bridge, they would say barij. And even when you hear some out of speaking, when they're first learning English, they put a lot of A's and E's in front of letters. You say, oh, that's not pronounced barij, it's bridge. But he can't do that yet. Because in Arabic, they don't put two letters together, two consonants together, without having a vowel. So that's why when you see it in the Quran, the first word in the Quran, you don't see anything there, but everybody pronounces it iqra. Right? Everybody says iqra. But you don't see the kasra. But you don't say qra'a. You say iqra. That being the case, and the Arabs don't stop. That's the first thing. They don't start unless they start on utilizing a what? Vowel sound, right? Now, they don't end with a vowel sound. Okay? They don't end. You don't say Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahimi. You don't say that. If you say that in Arabic, you have made a serious mistake. Because in Arabic, you do not stop on a vowel sound. In poetry, you might be able to get away with it because it's called a poetic license. However, in normal speech, it is ugly, it is not acceptable. Remember what grammar is. Grammar is the science through which we learn what is to be put forward and what is considered ugly in language. Right? That's what grammar is. We say, because we don't talk about, say, we here. We don't say that. We say we are here. So you have to teach a child in language that's not promoted in that way. We have to say we and use the be verb. And when they say, okay, we be here. The child is learning what is to be promoted and what is to be refrained from doing. Likewise, in Arabic, you don't say Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahimi. You don't stop on a vowel. Likewise, if you were continuing, you would say Muslimatun. And you pronounce the ta marbuta like it's a ta. But if you stop and you say Muslimah, now you don't stop utilizing the vowels and you say the letter as though it is a ha. Because if you take the two dots off of the ta marbuta, it is now a ha. and it should be read like a hair. From the bottom of your throat. Hair. Everybody say hair. So you say Muslimah. And you have to give that extra blow of air.